Shalom, friends! Parashat Devarim is always read on the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, and the timing is no coincidence. The Kli Yakar reveals that the very first verse of the parasha contains a profound allusion to the 3 weeks and the spiritual roots of the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash. Devarim opens, "These are the words that Moshe addressed to all Israel on the other side of the Jordan, through the wilderness in the Arava near Suf, between Paran and between Tofel, Lavan, Chatzerot, and Di Zahav." Rashi famously explains that these are not merely place names. Since Moshe did not wish to shame Israel openly, he rebuked them by hinting to their sins through the names of the places. For example, Paran alludes to the sin of the spies, and Di Zahav to the golden calf. The Kli Yakar, however, is troubled by Rashi's explanation. If these names are simply hints to past sins, why does the Torah repeatedly use the word between? Had the Torah merely wanted to list allusions, it could simply have said Paran and Tofel. By using the words between Paran and between Tofel, there must be a slightly different message. And the Kli Yakar says, the Torah is alluding to Bein HaMetzarim, the 3 weeks which lie between two national tragedies: the sin of the golden calf, marked by the breaking of the Luchot on the 17th of Tammuz, and the sin of the spies, whose decree was sealed on the 9th of Av. But why are these two sins linked together? Regarding the golden calf, the Kli Yakar writes, the zodiac sign of Tammuz is the crab which walks backwards. So too at the golden calf, the Jewish people turned their backs on God and walked away from him. The first breach was a broken relationship between the Jewish people and God. The second boundary is the sin of the spies. The spies declared, "It is out of hatred for us that God took us out from the land of Egypt." Rashi, quoting the Midrash, explains, a person assumes that others feel toward him what he himself feels towards them. Their claim that Hashem hated them revealed the hatred and distrust that already existed within themselves. Going back to the Kli Yakar, he continues and says, the symbol of Av is the lion. Instead of protecting one another, we became like lions, tearing each other apart. The 3 weeks, therefore, commemorate not merely 2 historical events, but 2 broken relationships. The golden calf represents the rupture between us and God. The spies represent the beginning of the rupture between one Jew and another. This, says the Kli Yakar, is the meaning of the Torah's wording, Bein Paran uvein Tofel, between Paran and between Tofel. We live between these 2 failures. This also explains the verse in Echa that all her pursuers overtook her between the narrow straits. The Kli Yakar, again, is explaining that this is more than a period on the calendar. It describes a nation trapped between 2 spiritual straits, having weakened its relationship with Hashem and having fractured its relationship with one another. Once both pillars are broken, the nation is left vulnerable to its enemies. Now is the time here, as we prepare for Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat leading up to Tisha B'Av, when we must work on our relationships, our relationship between us and God, and our relationship between each other. May we rebuild and restore these 2 relationships so that we no longer remain in between. Shabbat Shalom.